So Dennis, we've been talking about advocacy at scale and how you use online tools and social tools to create that. So what's happening with Ashoka? How do you view that today?
Well, I think our primary goal at Ashoka is to try to figure out ways to accelerate the pace of social change. And in the past, we've had things like the women's movement and racial equality. And these things have taken decades and sometimes more than 100 years. At Ashoka, we're trying to figure out how to use social media to rapidly compress the time period that social change takes place. We call it tipping.
Mm. Well, there's quite a lot of innovation going on in the space. Ashoka, organizations like Charity Water that we talked about today. What do you think companies can learn from your space and what you're doing?
Well, on the panel today, we talked a lot about traffic, driving traffic, and getting content on there. And I think maybe the next generation of thinking about that is not just how to drive traffic and content, but how to create conversations and how to create meaning. And I believe that if we do that in the social sector, we will tip social movements faster. And I believe that in the commercial sector, if companies do this with their customers, that they'll drive sales and build loyalty and trust that will ultimately drive shareholder value.
And what's the secret to authentic engagement? Is it about the tools and the technology, or what's it about? How do you build authentic engagement?
It's definitely not about the tools. It's about creating a culture where people can just be real, can talk about what matters to them. And if you think about it in our daily lives at work or as consumers, we want to do things that matter to us. Now, sometimes it's a project on global giving or a charity water project or engaging with Ashoka, which is kind of inherently do-gooder. But many other things in our lives, the things we buy, the services we engage, this is all part of the meaning of our lives. And so it's highly relevant across the spectrum, not just with social movements, but also.
And are you controlling that conversation or influencing it or just participating in it?
I think you have to set the tone. I think that's the key. If you don't set the tone from the beginning by showing who you are as a person, as a company, a company is a group of people. If you show the faces of people and not what they think they're supposed to say, but what they really care about and how they really feel. If you set that tone, then you'll have created an authentic culture.